The silence changed before you fully noticed it. Not all at once. Not in some dramatic moment where everything suddenly felt healed. It happened quietly. One evening felt a little less heavy than the ones before it. Your phone stayed silent a little longer without pulling your attention every few seconds. Your body stayed calmer inside the stillness, and at first, you almost didn't trust it, because there was a time when silence immediately created panic. A quiet phone meant something was wrong. An unanswered message could change the entire mood of your evening. Distance felt unbearable because your mind immediately tried to close it. You stayed emotionally alert all the time, listening for signs, watching for shifts, trying to feel whether something was changing before it fully happened. And eventually your nervous system became attached to that tension. Not because you wanted it, but because anticipation slowly became part of your emotional routine. So when the silence finally became calmer, it didn't immediately feel peaceful. It felt unfamiliar. You sat alone one evening and noticed that nothing inside you was rushing toward the absence the same way anymore. Your thoughts still wandered there sometimes. The memories still existed. Certain moments still carried emotional weight, but the panic was quieter. And that difference mattered more than you expected, because panic changes the texture of silence. It turns stillness into something threatening, something that feels emotionally unsafe, something your body tries to escape even when nothing is happening. For a long time, silence never felt neutral to you. It always meant waiting, waiting for a message, waiting for clarity, waiting for reassurance, waiting for movement. Even disappointment kept the emotional connection active. But eventually, something inside you became tired of reacting with the same intensity every time nothing happened. Not intentionally. Your body simply couldn't stay in that state forever. And little by little, the silence stopped feeling sharp. You began noticing moments where your attention stayed with yourself longer than before. Moments where the evening passed without emotional urgency. Moments where your body stayed present instead of searching for signs of something changing. And those moments felt strange at first. Not happy, not freeing, just quieter than what you had gotten used to. There's something deeply unfamiliar about calm after emotional chaos, especially when your inner world spent so much time organized around tension. At some point, the waiting itself becomes part of your identity. You expect emotional movement constantly. You expect interruption. You expect your nervous system to react immediately. So when that reaction softens, the quiet can almost feel empty. Not because something is missing, but because your body no longer knows what to do with stillness. And still, the stillness remains. One evening passes quietly, then another. Your phone sits untouched longer than before. You stop checking certain things automatically, not because you forced yourself to stop, because the emotional urgency slowly stopped controlling your attention the same way. And maybe that's one of the quietest shifts that can happen after heartbreak. The realization that silence no longer feels emotionally dangerous, not comforting, not beautiful, just no longer threatening. You begin sitting inside quiet moments differently. The room feels softer at night. The distance feels less immediate. Your thoughts don't spiral as quickly from one silence into 10 imagined meanings. And the strangest part is that nothing dramatic caused the shift. No final conversation. No perfect closure. No sudden emotional breakthrough. Your body simply stopped reacting with the same level of fear every time the silence appeared. And once that starts happening, the entire emotional atmosphere changes slowly, not outwardly. Most people probably wouldn't notice anything different about you, but internally, something becomes less tense. You breathe differently inside quiet moments. You move through evenings differently. The silence still exists, the absence still exists, but they no longer control the emotional gravity of every hour. And that doesn't mean you stopped caring. It doesn't mean the memories disappeared. There are still moments when something catches you unexpectedly. A sentence, a familiar hour of the night, a song that brings everything closer again for a minute. But even those moments move differently now. They arrive, they stay briefly. Then they loosen their grip again. Not because you push them away, because your nervous system is no longer holding on to every emotional echo with the same urgency. There are evenings now where nothing happens at all. No emotional wave, no spiral, no sudden heaviness sitting in your chest. And at first, even that feels unfamiliar, because for so long, silence automatically meant emotional movement. It meant thinking, remembering, waiting, searching for meaning inside every quiet moment. Now sometimes the evening simply passes. You make tea, you sit near the window, you hear distant sounds outside, and your mind stays where you are, instead of immediately returning to what's missing. Not every time, but enough times for you to notice the change. And maybe that's the strange thing about emotional calm after heartbreak. It rarely feels triumphant. It doesn't arrive with certainty. It doesn't make you feel fully healed. If anything, it feels subtle enough that you almost question whether it's real. But your body notices. Your breathing notices. The way you move through silence notices. You no longer brace yourself every time the quiet appears. And that changes the emotional atmosphere around everything else too. The nights feel slower. Your thoughts leave more space between them. The silence no longer rushes to become pain immediately. It simply stays silence. And maybe that's what calm after heartbreak really feels like. Not happiness. Not emotional certainty. Just the absence of constant panic. Just the realization that silence can exist without immediately hurting you. That a quiet evening can simply remain quiet. That your body no longer needs to treat every still moment as proof of loss. And slowly, almost invisibly, your relationship with silence changes. It stops feeling like abandonment, stops feeling like punishment, stops feeling like something that needs to be filled immediately. It simply becomes part of the emotional atmosphere around you, a softer one, a slower one, a quieter one. And one night, without fully realizing when it happened, you sit inside the silence without trying to escape it.